Huge problems at McLaren, Norris speaks out. While some teams have risen to the top of the Formula One grid in 2022, others have fallen behind, including McLaren. Midway through the 2022 Constructors Championship season, McLaren and Alpine were tied for 4th place in the points standings. At the Singapore Grand Prix, Alpine edged out the Woking team by a fingernail before McLaren temporarily took the lead. Ultimately, Norris finished 4th and Daniel Ricciardo finished 5th, giving McLaren their best result of the season. Sadly, though, that was the last of it. Despite McLaren's best efforts, they were unable to mount a serious threat after their 2 cars retired in Brazil, allowing Alpine to reclaim the lead in Japan. So, what happened? Why has McLaren dropped down the F1 2022 pecking order? Lando Norris, whose McLaren MCL36 came up short in the race, has blamed his car's lack of front-end grip. He claims this is an issue they've had for years. A lack of front-end grip, in Norris's opinion, hindered the team's prospects of finishing in the top 3. "It's just our car," he told Sky Sports. "The characteristics of the car, the thing we struggled with, the car doesn't have enough front. For me, all I need is front. I don't need rear tires. But when I have front, we can be quick. As soon as we destroy the front tires, we were seconds off, or half a second, or 1 second off. So it's just a characteristic the car relies on too much. But we know all of this. We've known it. It's just been something we've had for years, sadly, and it's our job to get rid of that for next season." At the season-ending Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, Norris finished 6th and earned the best lap point, while his fellow driver Ricciardo finished 9th in his final race with McLaren. After the race, this is what Norris had to say. "To be honest, P6, fastest lap as well, which must mean I was the quickest driver out there," the Briton said. "But I'm happy. I think we've ended the season on a high. I gave the team a good amount of energy to go into the off-season. We were close, we tried, P6 as well. We just didn't quite have the magical race we needed to get ahead of Alpine in the championship, but we finished where we deserved to finish. We were close," he continued. "It's been probably one of our best weekends in terms of actual pace to the leaders, so there are positives. I think the whole season has just been a lot of ups and downs. Certainly not enough ups." As one of the most promising young drivers in Formula One, Norris is considered a future champion in the sport. But despite some excellent performances and outcomes, he is yet to win a race in the sport as he nears the end of his 4th season with McLaren. Lando Norris has stated that his McLaren team will have no excuse by 2024 if they do not provide him with a car that can compete for race victories. An established powerhouse in the middle of the pack, the McLaren team was once again in a tight race for 4th place with Alpine. Despite their dominance over the teams in last places in the standings, they are still a long way from really challenging the Big 3 for race wins. Lando Norris has been performing well enough despite the fact that overall, McLaren's 2022 season was a mixed bag, though they can take pride in the fact that they are the only team outside of the top 3, which are Red Bull, Ferrari and Mercedes, to have scored a podium in the entire season, which happened in Imola with Lando Norris. The British team ultimately fell short of their season goal of finishing 4th in the Constructors Championship. Alpine ultimately prevailed over the Papayas to claim the best of the rest title, holding a 14-point lead over them after the final round in Abu Dhabi. An obvious disparity in form between the 2 drivers stands out, yet it may be difficult to draw down a specific cause for failing to defend last year's final place. While Norris finished the year as the best midfield driver, 7th in the driver's standing with 122 points, Daniel Ricciardo struggled throughout the 2022 campaign and finished with only 37 points. So what is the future for Norris at McLaren? Although he cannot 100% commit his long-term future to McLaren, Lando Norris has confidence in the squad to get him to where he wants to be. Obviously, the British driver means Grand Prix victories and a World Championship. After helping McLaren finish 4th in the Constructors Championship in 2021, Norris re-signed with the team before the 2022 season began and extended his deal through the end of 2025. Nonetheless, in terms of results, McLaren fell to 5th place behind Alpine as a result of the sporting regulations requiring all new cars for 2022. Similarly, Norris dropped from 6th to 7th place in the driver's standings, although he is still best of the rest behind Red Bull, Ferrari and Mercedes. The 23-year-old has shown promise in his racing, especially since the start of his second F1 season in 2020, when he earned the first of his 6 career podium finishes. Norris has indicated there will be no excuses by 2024, when McLaren's new wind tunnel and simulator are due to be up and operating. So the question is if McLaren can supply him with a car to do that in the next couple of years. Norris told Sky F1, "It's just faith, it's just honesty. That's the main thing I need. I'm not a guy who likes BS or likes people trying to make me happy. I like people just being honest. I have faith in McLaren. I have faith in the guys I work with, the whole team. Time will tell. You can never be 100% certain where you'll be, but you can have a good shot at it." A concern for Norris will be the lack of continuous progression from his team in 2022 compared to previous seasons, although he did take encouragement from how they had improved from a dismal Bahrain Grand Prix in which Norris and Daniel Ricciardo finished 15th and 14th respectively. "I mean, from where we were in race 1, I think we've done a good job. We recovered well," said Norris. "If I think of before this season, did we achieve in 2022 what we should have done at McLaren? Honestly, no. If we want to do well and we want to be champions at some point and we want to win races, we can't be satisfied with where we have been this season, but we can certainly be satisfied with the progress we've made. From the mechanics with our pit stops, our strategy, the whole team's work ethic, so many things are working well. It's just we need a slightly better car, that's all." It's obvious that McLaren has a long way to go before it can reverse its fortunes. They need to make some serious organizational changes, get the proper people on board, and set their sights on the future if they ever want to succeed. Supporters and drivers alike are keeping their fingers crossed that the team can pull through this difficult time and show they belong with the best in their sport. The situation has been brought to light by Lando Norris's comments, but it is up to McLaren to take the necessary steps and implement these changes if they hope to achieve success once again. Do you think McLaren will be able to provide their drivers with cars that can bring victories rather than battling for the best of the rest? Thanks for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. Additionally, if you're new to this channel, I strongly encourage you to subscribe and click the like button. You can also keep up with all of my most recent videos. See you in the next one.